Alright, hey everybody, I just wanted to quickly give you a preview of what you're going to be doing in this project since it's something new. You'll log into EdPuzzle like you normally would, and then you'll go to the project. I have this here, this is a student view. You obviously have more assignments on your page than I do here, but you'll find the assignment, it is a project, and it's called Balancing and Classifying Chemical Reactions. It has this little pencil here, and so you click on that and it gives you the instructions, and for some reason the goal and the instructions have gotten flipped around, but it's the same idea. You're going to be working on reviewing and sort of showing what you've learned about balancing and classifying chemical reactions. So what you'll do in a second, I'm going to just kind of summarize what's here in this, but you can read through it when you get to this point. You're going to find a video within EdPuzzle about balancing and or classifying chemical reactions. So you can look for videos on balancing equations, you can look for videos on classifying reactions, you can certainly find a few videos that do both. So you want to find one of those videos. It can't be one that we've used in class already, and that only eliminates a handful, and it has to be at least 5 minutes long. Longer is fine, but there's a few that are only 2 or 3 minutes. I want you to have at least a 5-minute video. You're going to pick a video, you're going to watch the video, and then use the edit feature in EdPuzzle, which I'll show you in a second, to add questions to the video. Just like when I assign you a video in EdPuzzle, you watch the video, you get questions, you answer them. This time your job is to come up with the questions. You'll also have to come up with the answers because, as it says here, when you turn in the assignment, you need to give me the answer key. So you can either attach it to the assignment in Google Classroom, or you can send it to me by email. If you use all multiple choice questions, you have to pick the correct answers as you put in the questions. So if you do all multiple choice questions, then the answer key is kind of built in. But you have the option also of doing open response or open-ended questions, which would be, typing in an answer rather than just picking a multiple choice. I leave the types of questions up to you, but either way, you need to give me the answers to show me that you know the correct answers to the questions you're putting into the video. There's 2 steps to actually turn in the assignment in EdPuzzle, and then you'll also go and submit it on Google Classroom to let me know you're done. So as far as which one you're going to pick, so you can click down here on Start Project. Don't worry about the start and due dates here. That's just what I picked for this sort of test account. So you're going to go to the Start Project. You're going to have a list of channels over here that you can search through. YouTube obviously has a lot of stuff in it. Other really good ones are Crash Course. Veritasium has a few, and you can look through these if you want, but you're going to go up here to the search bar and type in, for example, balancing chemical equations, or you could type reactions and see what comes up. Okay, so you get a whole bunch of these, and there are a couple of these that we've done already. A couple of the Tyler DeWitt ones you will have seen already. Here's one that's, this would be a good one. It's over 5 minutes long, so you could pick this one. So I'm going to pick this one just for the example. And I'm going to say you can watch the video. Obviously you want to watch it before you choose it, because then you have a better idea of what's in it and if you can come up with questions for it effectively. So then once you've decided that's the one you want to use, I'm going to click Use for this project. You don't have to pick the first one, but you can go back and forth and you can search. You could also search for classifying reactions and pick a video on that. Try to find one on both. In my opinion, I would actually say pick the topic you're less comfortable with, because part of the point of this exercise is that you're going to have to really think through how these questions are going to be asked. And so if you're not really sure about balancing equations, or you really want to review it, because we did do it before vacation, go ahead and do balancing equations, and it will be a little bit of review, and you're doing the project as well. So I'm going to pick this video, Used for the Project, down here on the right. And then it brings us to this editor. So you have the option of cutting the video, but I don't think you really need to worry about that. what you want to do is go over here to this tab that says questions, and then you play the video, and when you get to a point where you think there should be a question, I'm just going to jump ahead, and maybe I want to say, okay, here's a good place to ask a question. I'm going to ask a multiple choice question, and the question is, how many chlorine atoms are on the left side of the equation? Alright, so that would be a perfectly valid, reasonable question to ask. It would be the type of question I would put in a video for you guys, and now you're doing it on your own. So then for multiple choice, you can pick, you have to have at least 2 choices. I'm going to add, sort of the typical would be 4 choices to pick from. The correct answer here is going to be 2 because it's Cl2, so I have to check that. You have to have 1 correct answer. So there, now I've identified that as the correct answer. Again, if you're doing all multiple choice questions, this represents your answer key as well. So save that question. Okay, so it shows me here's the question I asked. It's indicating which one I've chosen as the right answer, and then I'll move on. And then you repeat this. You have to have at least 5 questions. Again, more is always welcome, but watch the video, and you can usually find a natural point like this right before the person who's narrating the video starts to give you the answer. That's a perfect place to put in a question. And you don't have to do it right at the beginning. You could let a couple of these answers be filled in as sort of examples for the person watching it, and then pick, so let's say they do barium and then chlorine, stop it and then say, okay, how many sodiums, for example, are there? Okay, that way that person watching the video will have gotten a couple of examples of how to figure it out, and then you're asking them to now say, all right, your turn, try this one. Okay, so then you'd work your way through the video, and let's just say I'm done. I've put in all the questions I want. I'm going to come up here to the right corner and click finish. Okay, now I have the project here. It shows where the questions are along the timeline, and when you are done, you hit turn in. So if you look at it and you're like, oh shoot, I only put in 4 questions, you can go back and edit it. If you decide you really didn't want to use that video, you can delete and go back. But when you're done, you click turn in. That finishes it in EdPuzzle as far as the assignment for me goes. Then you'll go over to Google Classroom and turn it in there. Alright, so pick a video, put in your questions in the editor, and then again, when you're done editing, click finish, and then when you're satisfied that you're done with the project and you've met all the requirements, you turn it in. If I look at it and it's not right, I will give you a grade accordingly and give you a chance to do it again. But try to get it done the first time, because this is going to be helpful in reviewing and getting ready for the quiz we're going to have next week. Alright, so there you go. That's just a walkthrough of the assignment, and you can go from there.